and welcome back to the 100 Acre Wool Knitting Podcast. My name is Bella, and as always, I'm coming to you from Los Angeles, California. And this is a podcast where I like to share with you and talk with you about everything that I have been making recently. So 90% of the time that is knitting related, but also I share some of my spinning journey, sewing as well, and other fiber arts. I am also really getting into designing knitwear patterns, so I share that journey as well on here. So today we have a lot to talk about. I have not one, but two finished objects to share with you. And then I also have some new cast-ons, both being new designs that I have in the works. And then we also have some spinning and new fiber that came in the mail and other fiber goodness and yarn acquisitions. So lots to talk about today. As always, you can find links to everything I discuss in the description below. Just click on the little arrow down below this video and that will show you all of the details, like links to patterns that I discuss or yarn or anything like that. And then also timestamps if you would like to skip to a particular section in the video or rewatch anything. Timestamps will be below as well. So let's get straight into it. There's a lot to go over. First things first, today I have a very exciting announcement to share with you. If you follow me on Instagram, you may already know this, but recently I released my Fields of Gold sweater knitting pattern on Ravelry. It is now live and released so that you can go pick it up on Ravelry if you would like. It is what I am wearing today, so we'll talk about what I'm wearing today. Yes, this is the Fields of Gold sweater pattern. So this was released on August 1st, and thank you so much to everyone who has already supported me through purchasing this pattern. I am so excited to see all of your versions. I know a couple of people have already cast it on, so it's been really exciting to see. So I hope you enjoy that pattern. A few little details about the design. It is worked top down in the round. This first bit here before the neckline joins, this whole top section, that's worked flat. But then from the rest down, it is worked in the round. And I know you can't see the whole thing right now, so I will also be putting pictures so you can see the entire garment. But there's also two sleeve length options in the pattern. I have the 3/4 length sleeve here, and then I also include how to do a short sleeve version as well. Some test knitters decided to go with the short sleeve, and I think it looks absolutely amazing as a short sleeve as well. Also probably a little more summer appropriate. The yarn that I used for this design is Nutiden yarns, which is Nutiden. It's not the most summer friendly yarn for wearing in the daytime at least, but this sweater has absolutely been a great throw it on in the summer evening time when it gets a little cooler. So it is still a summer garment, I think, just not one you would wear the entire day. But we're getting into fall, so you can absolutely knit it for the fall and the winter. And you could even make the sleeves longer as well. Oh, and I also include in the pattern, it's kind of a cropped sweater. It's not actually cropped. It goes about to my hips is how long it goes on me, but I have also included directions in the pattern to lengthen it if you would like as well. So you can customize it to exactly how you would like it. So it uses Nutiden yarns, held double throughout. So that's an unspun yarn, which if you are not familiar with unspun yarns, it's not spun. So it behaves quite differently than regular yarns. And especially for this motif here in the middle, the little wheatgrass motifs, I think it really stands out beautifully when you don't use a spun yarn. That's just how it kind of ended up with the test knitters. Most of the test knitters decided to do some sort of an unspun yarn. So with that, you do not need to use Nutiden by any means. Sometimes it's hard to get your hands on Nutiden yarns. I have included in the pattern page on Ravelry, I will link this down below. On the pattern page on Ravelry, I have included a lot of substitutes of other unspun yarns that you could use, and it would give you the same effect as how this looks. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this pattern, and there we go. So yeah, that's the link on Ravelry is linked in the description below. Alrighty, and let's get into the first of the two finished objects for this week. I have finished my Shifty Sweater. It's finally off the needles, it's finally done, blocked, and all the ends are woven in, so it's official. I haven't actually gotten photos of me wearing it or modeling it yet. Maybe I will have gotten them before this video comes out and I'll insert photos, but so far I haven't gotten any model shots of it being finished. But here we go. It's all done. I can barely fit it in the frame. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the colors on this are so much fun. So this was all spin cycle yarns, and it's a fading hand spun kind of a look. I think it's so cool. I'm really happy that the sleeves ended up kind of matching because, so I used Shades of Earth is the color from here to here-ish in the body. And then the color actually shifted. So this is also Shades of Earth right here. And that's just the nature of spin cycle. In one skein, you'll have so many different colors. But then the sleeves ended up matching. So they're both kind of that orangey salmon kind of color. Yeah, and I really like them. I think they turned out beautifully. And I was a bit wary last time. I had done one of the sleeves last time I shared this with you in our last podcast episode, and I didn't know if I was gonna like the overall look at the end with how the sleeves were very, at least at the ends here, where it goes from the dark purple to the more yellow color. I didn't know if I liked how much contrast there was, but I think overall it ended up being totally beautiful. And it's not too much. I think since the whole sweater is so much, like there's so many colors going on, I think it actually works now, and it looks more cohesive. I do love this sweater. I love how it fits. I love how it blocked out, and the fabric feels really nice now. It's not all puckery and like scrunchy like it was when it was still on my needles. But I did a bad knitter thing. Oh man. Knitter police, come and get me. I did not make a gauge swatch for this before I started knitting. I should have. Do your gauge swatches, people. Let me be the person that you learn from and and do your gauge swatch, because I did not, and this definitely grew in the blocking. Most of it is fine, but around the yoke here, and the biggest part of the yoke towards the bottom, is too big. It's kind of puckering and it's kind of big. So I'm having to, like, when I wear it, I have to like stretch it out and pull it down to make the yoke not look so weird. But then if I move at all, then it shifts and it goes back to looking weird. So I don't know. This might be a sweater that I have to wear a shawl with on the top, and just, I hate to cover up this beautiful salty dog up here, but yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe you'll be able to tell in the photos whenever I get those, but, and I'll also put those on my Ravelry page linked below for this pattern. But yeah, I would definitely recommend using Andrea Mowry's newest version of this pattern if you're going to knit it, because I used the original version, and the newer version did come out. She did release it before I started knitting this, so I totally could have used the newer version, but I was just being silly and I thought it would work out. And then I was between sizes in the pattern, and instead of going down a size, she recommends you have 0 ease or negative ease to the sweater in the pattern so that it's like kind of tight. It fits you pretty tightly. That's what she recommended. And then so I was between sizes and I ended up going up a size instead of down a size. So yeah, I did a few silly things there. But I really love the colors. I'm not going to redo it or rip it out. I'm going to live with it and just style accessories with it to hide the parts that maybe aren't that great. It also blocked out to be so much longer in the arms and the torso, or in the body sections. Sorry, sleeves. I always say arms and I mean sleeves. Anyways, those parts became a bit longer too, so it's not cropped anymore like the original looks. So yeah, it's just a few silly things on my part. It will definitely get wear. It already has gotten wear. I've already been wearing it around the house and things. It's too hot to wear outside at this point. But anyways, it's finished. It's off the needles and I'm so happy about it. Yeah, I love the stitch pattern. I'm going to be also making her night shift shawl at some point. I already have the yarn that I picked out a while ago from a yarn shop in Washington DC, that is, and I'm very excited to knit that one at some point because these colors are just so cool. Maybe one day, maybe one day I'll just make another one of these with my own handspun. That would totally be a great use of handspun, so we'll see. Anyways, you live and you learn, right? Do your gauge swatches, people. Okay, so next finished object is a new design. How many projects am I going to have that are new designs? Well, the rest of the projects today at least. So, a little more summer appropriate, I have my tank top pattern that I shared with you last time. I have cast it off and it's finished and blocked and all done and ready to go. I'm calling it the Champagne Tank. So Champagne Tank is inspired by the color of the yarn, and then also I was kind of imagining wearing this. Let me just show it to you and you can kind of see where I'm going with this. So here we go. It's very drapey and flowy and light. So it has some beautiful ruffles on the bottom edge. Sorry. Has some beautiful ruffles on the bottom edge there, and then some little eyelet textures going up. This is a very easy pattern in my opinion. I don't know, it was like TV knitting for me at least. I think that anyone, even beginner knitters, could definitely tackle this. The most difficult part is at the beginning when you cast on for the ruffle. That's the most difficult part, I would say, but after that it's pretty much just stockinette and then with some easy little textures in there. So yeah, it was really fun to knit and quite fast as well. This only used one skein, so 100 grams of a light fingering weight yarn. And this yarn that I used is a yarn that I hand-dyed, naturally hand-dyed yarn that I did. I just love the pink color. So yeah, the name of the tank top was inspired by the yarn a lot. I just loved this champagne-y kind of color that came out. It's a really soft, natural beige pink kind of a color. And the base of the yarn itself is alpaca and linen and silk. So it's 50% alpaca, 25% linen, and 25% silk. So it's very summer appropriate with that little bit of plant fiber in there as well. And then it's so drapey, as you can see. I kind of want to make a skirt out of this yarn because it's so drapey and fun. Yeah, I could just swirl the ruffles all day. Yeah, so much fun. So this one is available for test knit now. I have made the test knit call, if you want to say. So you may have seen that on Instagram. And the test knit is still open. I'm filming this on a Saturday. It's going to go live tomorrow on Sunday, and the test knit will be open until Tuesday. So I will link that down below if you would like to apply to be a test knitter. It's going to be available in 9 sizes. So it's bust size from 28 inches all the way up to 62, I believe. 9 sizes of that. I designed it to have 0 inches of negative ease or positive ease. It's supposed to be exactly the measurement of your bust is the width of this. So it has no waist shaping. It's just straight the whole way. So it's supposed to be snug around your bust and then kind of looser fitting downwards. But you can also go up or down a size if you would like a different fit as well. That's just a suggestion. You can absolutely choose whatever size you would like to make. And then also a cute little detail I wanted to point out is that it comes up in the front. It's kind of subtle here, but it bows up in the front a tiny bit in the center front, and then the back it's longer. So just sweet little details like that. So yeah, this is available for test knitting. And oh, another modification, if you would like to do that, is for the straps. You can make them just like standard, like this, not movable. What am I trying to say? I have designed 2 different versions of this where you could either make the straps longer and do not attach them, and then you could tie them into a bow at the top. Because this is worked bottom up, The ending is the straps, and then you do a Kitchener stitch to attach the front and the back. So instead, if you don't want it, secured like this all of the time, you could knit them longer and then be able to tie a little bow. Or when I was designing this as well, I was thinking you could also tie it into like a little halter top. So you could bring like the front two straps around like this, and that was really cute as well. So I think that would be a great idea, to knit the straps longer, and you have more like design options or more ways to style it. I couldn't do that with this particular sample because I literally used pretty much all of the yarn that I had. So let me show you the tiny bit of yarn that I have left. That's it, from 100 gram skein. This is all I have left. So yes, if you're gonna be knitting size 2, you have to do the, if you only want to use one skein, I'll say, size 2, only one skein, you have to do the standard strap length because you won't have enough to make them longer. But other than that, it's all in the pattern. I'm rambling. Anyways, the test knit will be linked down below, and yeah, that's all I have to say on that. Alrighty, and next is a new cast on and work in progress. So, as you probably know, if you're not new around here, I am a big lover of Nutiden yarns, and I am getting more into the fall mood for knitting. I'm looking into what I'm going to be wanting to wear in fall. So I wanted to cast on a new design in Nutiden yarns because Nutiden was just made for colder weather. It's perfect. Perfectly airy and light and fluffy, but very warm because of all the air. It traps a lot of warmth, so it's a perfect combo for colder weather. So I have a shawl design on the needles now, and I will show you. So let's see. Put my basket down. Okay. So here is how it is looking. Let's see. This is the top edge. Okay, here we go. It's already quite big. I just have been flying on this. It's been flying off the needles. I think it's about halfway through at this point. I think it's going to be doubly as big by the time it's finished, and it'll probably grow a little bit once it's blocked. So it's going to be a very nice and cozy and warm shawl. Oh, I'm so excited to be wearing this one. I was already kind of using it as a blanket, and it's just so cozy. Oh, I'm going to love it so much. But anyways, so I am playing with some of the similar textures from the Fields of Gold, actually. You may be able to notice. Let's see. Yes, this little bit here is this little bit here. So some little coordination there. And it was so fun. I was chatting with Caroline, which Caroline, if you're not aware, she is the main maker and idea person behind Nutiden yarns. She designs pretty much all of their colorways and is, really deep in the process of making the yarn itself with her husband Knut. So I was chatting with Caroline a bit ago, and we were talking about, what new designs I would have going on my needles, and I was chatting with her how I have a shawl going, and she was asking me some questions about it, and it was so funny. We were just exactly on the same page. She was like, oh, is it going to use these needles? I was like, yes, you read my mind. And then textures and different things that she was wanting in a shawl to knit. It was so fun. So we were kind of on the same page with that. And she was saying how she wants to test knit it whenever I have it published, or ready for test knitting rather. So yeah, here's how it's coming. And this is not going to be how it is going to end up looking. Some of these stitches are going to be changing and transforming into something else. There's going to be some drop stitches that turn into something else. So this isn't the final look of this. But yeah, I'm so happy with how it's coming out right now. Let me show you some more of the details up close. So we have some wraps and just beautiful little textures coming. And then there's a bit of a new texture over here. So yeah, just fun with texture. I'm not sure what I'm going to be calling this yet. If you have any suggestions, feel free to put them below. Yeah, haven't decided on a name, but for now, right now, I've just been calling it the Caroline shawl because I think we kind of collaborated on this one. Yeah, so this is definitely a sort of mindless knit, I think. It's gonna have some charts in it, but the charts are definitely, the repeats are kind of easily memorizable. So it looks like a lot going on, but I think at least it's pretty simple to memorize, and then you just go from there. And it is worked flat, and you are increasing on one side, so it's going to be a asymmetrical shawl shape, asymmetrical triangle. And yeah, I'm just so excited for it. Oh, it's going to look so pretty with the fields of gold. This colorway that I'm using for this particular sample, I was definitely playing with some other colors. I had done like, I don't know how many swatches for this one because I wasn't set on how I wanted the increases to happen. I wasn't sure on like the direction that the whole knitting would be happening. So there was a lot of swatches in this one to get to this point. And then I was also playing with different colors of yarn because different textures can look different with different colors of yarn. And I was thinking maybe this, since this yarn is so dark, I was thinking maybe the texture wouldn't show up very well, but I'm knitting this for fall and I really wanted to use this particular colorway, but I was also doing a swatch of this in a lighter tone color and it looked beautiful in that as well. So I think in a lighter tone the textures will show up even better, even more. But yeah, for my sample I am using the Nutiden colorway Janvia, which I think was from their March collection this year. So this is what it looks like. It is just a world of color. I love it so much. This is like fall in a colorway, I think. It's just so beautiful. So very subtle details of different colors in this, and it's just knitting up wonderfully, I think. I'm having a lot of fun with that one. So then we have another work in progress that I've been working on. This is again a new cast on and a new design. So I am working on a hat pattern for the fall, and it doesn't really look like much right now. Just cast it on just a bit ago, but it's going to be a folded over brim hat. I really wanted to use some special skeins of yarn, some really precious skeins of yarn that I had in my stash that I'd picked up on our trip to Virginia about a month ago at this point. And they were just so special and so soft, and I knew I had to use them for a hat. So here we go. This is what it's turning into. So yeah, it's going to be a folded over brim, so that's what it's going to look like. That's why it's so long right now. But it's coming out. Oh, I love this yarn. So the yarn that I'm using is Mayak Yarns. This is their Baby Yak lace base, and this is so flippin' soft. I only purchased one skein of this because it's kind of expensive, it being 100% yak, but I thought it would be a perfect project to make a hat out of something so soft, and I know it would definitely not irritate my forehead. And since I only had a 50-gram skein, I think it will definitely make a whole hat. Plus I'm using another yarn with it, so this is turning out very lovely and soft. I'm using 4mm, or not 4mm, US size 4 needles for the main portion of the hat, of the body of the hat. Oh, and also I'm holding it double, so it creates a bit of a thicker fabric, more to hold on to. I just wanted something more substantial, not a lace weight hat. So now it's kind of like a sport weight, I think is what it turned into when you hold it double. So yeah, it's just very nice, having a lot of fun with it. Let me show you with it folded over brim. So that's kind of gonna be what it looks like. And of course you could knit the brim to be as tall or as short as you would like, or you could just omit the folded over part and then just do it flat like this. Yeah, so I'm holding this double, and then I'm also holding a skein of mohair that I purchased on the same trip a few weeks ago. This is, gotta look at the yarn tag to make sure I'm telling you the right thing. Okay, this is Manos del Uruguay. I think I said that wrong last time. Manos del Uruguay is the yarn dyer, and this particular yarn is Cabrito, I think that's what it says, Cabrito, in the colorway Wild Flowers. So I just thought this was so cool. When it was in the skein, I thought the colors were just so fun. So there's so many different colors of like purples and pinks, and then there's also greens and yellows and oranges. And there's a lot going on, but I think it works. I think it's actually really beautiful. So when this was in the skein, I actually thought it was going to be stripy because of how, like, the colors aren't like blobs of color that usually happen when, you know, you see hand-dyed yarn. Usually the different strands are not different colors. Like in this, every strand is a different color. So I thought it would end up making like a stripy kind of effect. But now that I have it in a cake, it's not gonna stripe. I know that now. So I just think it's, whatever they did to dye this is a really cool technique because it turns out really beautiful. And I also knit a swatch for this, which I'm not gonna show you yet. That'll be for next time. But I also knit a swatch with this already, and it just gives us such a different effect than normal hand-dyed mohair, I think. I don't know how to explain it, but the colors are coming really cool. So check out these yarns. I will link them down below. Yeah, Mayak, Baby Yak Lace, and then the Manos del Uruguay. I really love the Manos del Uruguay yarns. Across the board, everything I've tried from them has been so soft. So if you are a soft yarn lover like me, I would recommend them for everything. Not sponsored, I just really like them. I got these yarns, I got this yarn at Looped Dye Works. No, sorry, just Looped. Looped in Washington, D.C., and then I got the mohair at Fiberspace in Alexandria, Virginia. So yeah, having a lot of fun with this. Easy breezy TV knitting. Just knit purl in the round for this, and yeah, it's gonna be really nice to have a hat. I'm not sure if I've actually knit myself a hat yet. I've knit hats for other people as gifts, but I don't think I actually have a hand knit hat. Wow, okay. Well, cool. This will be my first hand knit hat for me, and also my first hat pattern. So there we go. I'm also using, as my end of round marker, I'm using my little mushroom guy. Isn't he so cute? Oh, it's just so much fun to end around and be just, you see your little mush friend. So this is a felted stitch marker. If you're not new around here, I'm certain you've seen these, but this is little felted stitch markers I make available in my Etsy shop. I will link it down below. Yeah, so having a lot of fun with this pattern, and it's coming along quickly. I think I've only spent a couple of hours on what I've already done, so that pattern will be coming soon as well. Lots of ideas in my head, and I just have to get them out there and start knitting them before, you know, you lose it. So that is all the works in progress. Now I have some spinning to share with you. I've done a little bit of spinning since we last spoke. This was a skein that I think I shared with you when it was on the bobbin last time, but now it's actually in a hank. It's been washed and dried and all hanked up, so that is finished. This looks really large. I think it was 4 ounces was the fiber, and this is hand-dyed fiber. I don't remember the dyer's name. I don't even know if the bag had a name on it. It was just something that I had purchased, again, in Virginia, just some fiber that I had purchased at a local yarn shop up there. But I really like how it came out. It didn't retain as much air as I think I would have wanted. It's 100% BFL, and that may have contributed to something because I've been spinning with other fiber contents. I was spinning with non-superwash merino, and that felt really nice. It was nice and squidgy, and just enough air was left in it. But this one, I don't know, it's not bad at all. I still love it. It just feels a little bit different. So yeah, I'm not sure. if that's the BFL or what it is. I mean, I'm a very new spinner, so I'm still learning. And of course there are a few little twisty kink things in there, but I'm sure once this is knit up and blocked, and I'm sure that'll work itself out, right? Yeah, anyways, that skein is done. And then I have also finished, I've also finished plying another fiber braid that I had gotten from Virginia. So this bobbin is as full as it could possibly be. I actually had to toss a tiny bit of yarn a tiny bit of my singles because it wasn't going to fit on the bobbin. It wasn't even spinning anymore on my wheel. So the braid was from Neighborhood Fiber Co. I think the colorway is Lauraville, and it's their Polworth base. So Polworth, I think it felt pretty similar to Merino when I was spinning the singles. BFL was very slippy, and then I've also been spinning up, I also spun up this guy. This is a single, so I still have to spin the rest of the braid. So this is half of it, but this one is, what is the content? I think it's merino and silk. Is that right? So this is, again, Neighborhood Fiber Co. For the yellow color. This is the colorway Oliver. Oh no, this is BFL and silk. So 75% BFL and 25% silk. So this one was very smooth to work with, quite slippy. So I had to turn down my draw in. I don't know what that's called. Anyways, I had to go slower on this one because it was wanting to fly away when I was spinning it. But I really love this colorway. There's little pops of orange throughout. It's mostly like a golden yellow tone, and then there's some little pops. And there's more pops in there but that you can't see yet. So yeah, I want to finish up the braid and then ply it up so we can see how it'll look in a skein. Because that's always so fun to me, is to see how it looks before you've spun it and then afterwards, and how the colors play together, and if you're gonna see any shifts and stuff. I think that's always really fun. So this is what the other half of the braid still looks like, and then this is it spun up. So yeah, very soft. Oh, a lovely cloud. So I had purchased this at Fiber Space in Alexandria. Upstairs they have fiber, spinning fiber, which I had never known about. I had been to that shop quite a few times, and I had never known that they had spinning fiber. So if you're a spinner, go there and check out their upstairs. But yeah, I loved how that base felt so much, or that fiber combo. Their cobblestone roving, I really love how that felt, so I purchased some more on their website. So I think we'll get into acquisitions now. So yes, purchased some more of their cobblestone roving, which is their BFL and silk base. So very soft, and then with a tiny little bit of sheen from the silk. So this one that I purchased on their website, this one is called Banksy, which is an artist, if you're aware. I think this definitely fits Banksy's kind of aesthetic. So really beautiful colors, nice bright magentas, and then deep like muddy grays. I think that one's super cool. I'm really excited to see how this fades. I think that's going to come out really cool. And then another cobblestone roving. So this one is their cobblestone roving again, but it's the Lauraville colorway, which was the same as this one. So these are the same colorway, just different fiber bases. So this one on the, what is that, your left, right? Anyways, this one is their Polworth base, and then this one is their cobblestone roving. So I'm excited to see how that spins up and how they kind of differ from each other. I really love the subtle shifts of grays and purple lavender kind of colors. I think this one's just so beautiful. And then this color I totally fell in love with on the website. I am a sucker for greenish teals, especially light colored. And then with the bit of silk, the colors kind of shift, so I totally fell in love with this one. This one again is their cobblestone roving. from Neighborhood Fiber Co. Again, not sponsored, I just really like it. So I actually purchased 2 of those braids. I think this would look really beautiful as like in color work. And I think it'll have that subtle shift, subtle fade of color of those blue and green tones. So I thought this would look really nice in a color work with like a cream colored base. I think that would look really pretty, maybe for spring or something. So I'm excited to see how these turn out. And this colorway is Rosemont. So here we go. Really soft. I highly recommend these fibers if you're a spinner. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to spin these up. Okay, and then some more fiber. Can you tell I'm a little obsessed with spinning fiber? I'm just so excited to have my own little stash of handspun that I can just knit all the faded things. If you can't tell, I really love the look of handspun yarn and I want it to be in my knitting more often. So did a little purchase from, oh actually it was from the Woolery. I did a purchase from the Woolery because I needed more bobbins, and also the wheel that I was gifted, it wasn't entirely complete. I couldn't use it the way that I wanted to with what it came with, so I had to order some extra parts from the Woolery. So yeah, during that purchase, I purchased these as well because they have Malabrigo on their website. Yes, Malabrigo is the company name, yes. So Nube is their fiber name, the fiber base that they have. So these are the colorways that I purchased. I am so excited about these. I purchased these 3 together because I think they would be a really cool fade. Can you see that? Going from pinks to more purpley reds, and then, oops, focus. Hopefully you can see that. I really love the colors of this, especially this one. So this one is Piedras. So many colors in this one. This one's so much fun. So I've heard mixed reviews on Malabrigo Nube, that it's really difficult to draft and that the color pigmentation throughout isn't always even, or like in the middle of the fiber, sometimes the dye doesn't get there, get to the middle of the fiber. But anyways, I couldn't resist. I love Malabrigo's hand dyeing method, or whatever they do to hand dye their yarn. I think it just comes out with really interesting colors, and I love how many colors they have in each colorway, if that makes sense. So I'm thinking these will turn into something together. Once I knit them up, they will be in the same project, probably, like fading between each other. So yeah, excited about those. And that is it for fiber acquisitions. I also received some little goodies in the mail. So Row 1 Yarn reached out to me and wanted me to try out some of their yarn. So Row 1 Yarns is a yarn bundle subscription where every month you can try out a bunch of different colorways from one indie dyer. So if you are a lover of socks or variegated looking projects with a lot of different colors in them, this would be the perfect subscription for you, I think. And it came in the mail and they're just so cute. So it came in this cute little bag, and some little goodies were added as well. She added a Row 1 sticker and then some little stitch markers as well. Not sure if you can see that. So then the yarn, it's a different dyer every month. So you get, all of the colorways are from one dyer, but every month she changes which dyer that is. And I can't possibly show you all the colors right now, but it's little 10-gram minis. So each color that you get, oops, dropped that one. Each colorway that you get is 10 grams. So each package, each subscription box is 100 grams of yarn total. So it's 10 colors of 10 grams each. So I'm planning on making some variegated crazy stripe socks with these. It's also superwash yarn, so would be perfect for socks. This one particular base looks like a 2-ply, so I think that'll be really cute. And the dyer for this month that she sent to me. This is Big Sky Yarn Co. So go on her Instagram, I will link it down below. Go on her Instagram and you can see the previous month's yarn combos, and they're really cute. Again, not sponsored, she just wanted to send these to me as a little gift, and I'm very excited to use them. So then after our last Spinning Guild meeting a few weeks ago, me and Nicole, my friend Nicole, we went on a little yarn crawl around LA, mini yarn crawl, and we stopped by the Knitting Tree in LA, a really wonderful yarn shop. If you're in the LA area at any time, I would highly recommend going and checking them out. So yeah, we went to the Knitting Tree, and they were having so many classes happening at the same time we walked in, so it was just, the shop was full of people knitting, and it was just so much fun to see. So yeah, Nicole and I were shopping around, and Nicole actually found this duo of yarn, and I immediately fell in love. I just love the colors so much for fall, so I had to pick them up. And especially this skein of mohair, I have never seen fading mohair like this, so I just had to pick it up. It's super cool. So the outside is like a kind of auburn green, really beautiful like dirty green color, and then it fades into like a soft purple magenta in the middle. I just think this is so cool. And then it came with a ball of Lana Grossa Cashmere 16 Fine. So this is merino and cashmere. Very, very soft. I love this color as well. And I thought it was such a great kit. They just go together so well, these two colors. And this yarn is so cool. I've never used any Lana Grossa yarn, but this particular base, their Cashmere 16 Fine, it looks knitted. Like the yarn itself, it's not spun, it's like a chain. I think that's what those are called. I've never used this type of yarn, so that's gonna be fun. So this kit was actually for a shawl pattern, and the shawl pattern came with the kit. I will link it down below and put a picture here, because it's digital. I have the digital pattern of it. But it's a really beautiful design. I'm not sure if I'm going to knit these. I'm not sure if I'm gonna knit that particular shawl, but I think these in a shawl would be so nice. Oh, excited to see how that fade will come out. It's really cool. Oh, so this yarn is Trendsetter Yarns Poet Mohair. So it's 75% kid mohair and 25% silk. A pretty usual base for mohair, and then it's 50 grams, so 460 yards. Yeah, so excited to knit with those. So many things to knit. For now it will be added to my stash, but I think this would be a perfect shawl, or perfect fall duo. There we go. Alrighty, and last but not least, not really an acquisition, more of a gift. My friend Nicole, who I've talked about here on a lot, Nicole is actually a fiber artist, and she makes beautiful, beautiful carded bats of spinning fiber. Her business is not currently open. It's called Mork Made Fiber Co. I think she's planning on opening it again soon, maybe. But she had gifted me this beautiful bat that she carded up, and I just have to share it with you because it's beautiful. All right, so this beast back here, it's fire. Wow, look at that. It's huge. I think this is 3 ounces of fiber, if I'm not mistaken, but she just puts so many different fibers in her bats and all different textures and colors. I'm sure it's not going to show up on camera as beautiful as it is in person, but it's just so cool. And there's stellina in it as well, and then also some of the oranges are glow in the dark. So I think this would be so fun for Halloween, to spin it up and knit something for Halloween. And I love the depth also that she gets with the darks and lights. So lots of fun contrast and colors. It's also very soft. So yes, I'm very excited to spin this up. And I wanted to spin it up already. She gave this to me a few weeks ago, but I just had to show you it. I had to show it to you in bat form because it's just so beautiful. So yes, that is Mork Made Fiber Co. Cute little tag down here. yeah, check out her Instagram. I will link her down below as well. And that is finally everything for today. No progress on my skirt, my sewing project, my skirt that I showed you last time, but I'm hoping to have that finished next podcast because I really want to start wearing it. But that's it for today. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. And if you did enjoy, please do make sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video. And I will see you in the next one. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week and happy knitting. See you next time. Bye.